I want to give the first word to Rosanna because she has a very special story. It's heartbreaking, and hopefully, and hopefully, with our meeting here today, we're going to get some changes done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody should listen to Rosanna's story.
Being a residential small landlord, unlike many others here, makes my story challenges somewhat unique. In early summer of 2020, I expressed to my tenant that I no longer wish to rent out the apartment space in my residential home and that she would plan on moving within 90 days. My health was declining and I wanted and needed the space so that I could accept the help of my family and friends. I also explained that I had finally obtained permits to complete major repairs and renovations that would eliminate the apartment completely from the home. Tenant had previously been made aware during many discussions of the necessary renovations to accommodate my ever-changing needs. However, when the time came, the tenant was angered and accused me of throwing her on the street, and she refused to leave, and so began the official eviction process and all of the ugliness that came along with it. For 2.5 years before all of this began, having respect and courtesy for the tenant, I cleaned her car after every snowstorm. I even warmed it for her on occasion. I got her groceries when she was unable, cared for her bird when she vacationed, and provided masks when there were none to be had. Fixed her computer several times, and even applied prescription ointment to her back when she was in pain and there was no one else around to do it. And still, even after I had her eviction papers served and the relationship was strained, she called me and needed an ambulance. I not only called one, but I wrote a list of her medications for the medic to take with them. And in that same 90-day period, I helped her with virtual doctor appointments and rescheduling them, and even responded to her requests, offering to take her to look at apartments, emailing her comparable rental links, and offering to pay for movers at first month's rent. No, I'm not a saint, and I don't claim to be. I have a right to my emotions too, however, and I do get angry. The tenant barely followed up with anything that was provided to her, and her efforts were mediocre at best, because she knew, and she even stated, that she was in no hurry because she didn't have to be. Yes, there is a moratorium, but what I cannot understand is how all evictions just seem to have been lumped together. The articles of the initial moratorium did suspend all evictions for 90 days, but since then, the updated articles clearly state that the moratorium is in effect for non-payment cases due to COVID hardships. Nothing, however, was mentioned or outlined for those of us in holdover situations that have nothing to do with COVID and nothing to do with non-payment. So what about us? Why can't we proceed in the course? You see, this story is not about money. It's about someone who will not and perhaps does not know how to help themselves, and therefore has the ability to take advantage of the system as it leaves me, a single mom with an incurable cancer and a child with learning disabilities, at the mercy of the courts who will do nothing but make us wait. There are plenty of lines in the moratorium protecting tenants with health issues. Well, where are my rights? Not as a tenant, not as a landlord, but where are my rights as a human being? The story is tragic at so many levels. Why is there not a social services caseworker to help with her finding a place? I called and they said they could not help. And as a matter of fact, every agency and politician I reached out to basically said there was nothing they could do. Well, where is the help then? Where is all of the taxpayer money that was supposed to build an infrastructure to assist those in need? It has become quite clear to me that taking the time to evaluate the root causes and provide language and services to cover some of these situations does not exist. Instead, there's a very broken system that perpetuates desperate behavior on the part of both parties with this case being of no exception. She smokes incessantly, deliberately, and spitefully in my home, making me violently ill when there is no smoking allowed, and she herself is on a breathing machine. But I am told I cannot say anything. She has carried herself in a manner that has put all of our lives at risk on multiple occasions, and yet again, I am told I cannot say anything. I am tired of being silent. I am tired of not being heard, and I am tired of not feeling safe in my own home. The apartment and my home continue to deteriorate, and the tenant continues to complain. And the work permits remain open, but those repairs cannot be made with her there. My child and I live in that home too, and I need peace and the ability to care for myself with my family and my friends by my side. This tenant's refusal to leave and poor excuses for not finding anything in the last 8 months not only prevents me from living, but is interfering with my dying. These tenants carry on in a retaliative manner, but anything we do as landlords is considered harassment. They do not pay, they destroy our property, they disrespect us, they lie, and they have simply been given the right to not care and should just do as they wish. Where are our rights as landlords? Google it. Google landlord rights, and guaranteed you will come up with nothing. It is unacceptable, and we, the people here today, will not stand for it any longer. We want our rights back, and we want to be heard. Open up the courts. My name is Rosanna, and that is my story.
Rosanna, prayers are with you. And that's just one of the stories.
Thank you very much, Rosanna. That was a very touching story.